Are you thinking about breaking in? Are you thinking about breaking into commercial restoration? It's a great move, but there's a lot you need to know before you jump in. I know it feels like we can just get started. I want to start with, drum roll, 10 critical things. I wrote down 10 things that I see most often that people don't take into consideration before they get started, but it helps answer a lot of questions. Should I not? So I'll make you a list today of 10 critical items that every contractor needs to understand and be aware of before starting to dive into commercial projects. Number one, you ready? Commercial projects don't equal large loss. That's certainly those two words go together in so many conversations, but they don't have to be. When you're just getting started, I would say be very conscientious about what you can take on. Many assume commercial jobs means huge, big monster losses, but that's not always the case. Commercial just means that you're working on business properties like, small office floods, a restaurant fire, a small retail space, something like that. Starting small and scaling up is a much smarter and safer bet for you to get your name out there. Number two thing that I want to think is critical is business continuity matters. Business continuity, business interruption, those two things go into the same conversation. Businesses don't just care about the cleanup. They care about staying open. Your job is minimizing disruptions by working after hours, maybe offering phased restorations or temporary services like power and HVAC, just to get them to where they can function until you get started with the bigger remediation or restoration project. So keep that in mind. Business interruption, business continuity, those two words go hand in hand, but you've really got to get good at knowing that to handle commercial losses. Number three is not the same as number two, but you need to master business interruption as it pertains to insurance. The customer's insurance and how they get paid for that is something you should take into your consideration when you're putting together a scope and a plan to work there. Business interruption insurance pays for businesses for downtime, making insurers cautious and slow. Understanding BI, business interruption insurance, helps you speed up approvals and secure projects. What your insurance company for your clients going to want to know is what's the exposure. They also need to understand from the customer, what is the business interruption? What are we losing money on that's related to their business? Number four, expect multiple decision makers. That throws a lot of people for a loop. Unlike residential, commercial involves property managers, maybe business owners of the business, adjusters, consultants, engineers, maybe even tenants, very, very likely tenants. Multiple people. Learning to navigate those different needs and priorities is a key to your success. Number five, prepare for tougher insurance battles. I won't sugarcoat it. They exist. Commercial claims, commercial jobs, they face heavy scrutiny. They can get larger. Insurance companies challenge pricing. They challenge scope, drying times, no different than residential. You need airtight documentation, strong contracts, terms and conditions, and then you need to have sharp negotiation skills. I'm not saying negotiate your bill, but negotiate their understanding of what the exposure is on this job. So if you get good at that, you're going to do really, really well in commercial restoration. Number six, scoping determines profitability. I talk about this a lot of the times. Underestimating a scope leads to lost profit. Account for the hidden damages, the containment that you didn't think about you're going to need, equipment, the specialty equipment, and then continuity costs. Like maybe you've got HVAC, you've got, you want to keep them open, things like that. The cost of working at night, put that into your scope so there's no hidden surprises. That really, really deters a lot of people and it affects the trust. Precise scoping is a foundation for your accurate pricing. So the better you get that up front and the better everyone believes in your confidence, the more they're going to believe your pricing, which is set forth in your contract. Number seven, cash flow is crucial. Very, very big problem. A lot of people don't take into the cash flow that this is going to take to start doing commercial. Commercial payments can often take 60 to 120 days. Without cash reserves or proper payment structures, your cash flow can collapse and can really, really inhibit your growth in your business and you're even serving all of your customers. Plan ahead with deposits and progressive payments and financial reserves. Let me take a moment before we move on to the final couple of things that I think are critical. and remind you that if you go to our website, restorationadvisors.com/CATx, you should see it across the screen here. You're going to see information about what we do and teach, including all this. I would say cash flow is something that it operates completely different than residential. You're not the bank, and I'm going to show you and teach you how to be a fluid contractor and get paid for what you do and cash flow this job. Come out to our workshop. When you check the link, look and see, depending on when you're watching this, we have them all over the country, where we're going to be next. Get yourself signed up for that, in addition to coming to work with CATx for your company. But a workshop is a really good way to get all the tools and resources to help started on that. Number 8 is compliance and regulations. Again, different than residential. Commercial jobs have stricter codes. They have OSHA rules. Expect needing possibly sometimes engineers. You need a hygienist, which, maybe it's not the same kind of hygienist, and specialized safety measures. You're going to have to set this job up because you're absolutely way more exposed with OSHA and other, compliance bodies. Knowing the compliance requirements before bidding will help you create the right scope, the right expectations, and then of course your pricing will back it up, and there won't be any battles at the end because you have justified all of that. But you don't need to not know what they are and get, some customers will remove you from the job if you're not following the compliance requirements. They expect you to know that before you start doing the work. Marketing is different in commercial. It must be relationship based. Now you may say, I always do relationship based. This is different. You're going to make relationships with people who have properties and other businesses, and they're going to call you all the time. Residential, you might work with that customer one time. Commercial clients hire contractors they trust. Trust is going to be a word you're going to hear way more often. Not just vendors from a list. They have lists, but they're not necessarily following those lists. Build relationships through networking events. There may be some associations in your market, maybe BOMA, IFMA, and then other specialty organizations that market to the kind of people who would have commercial losses and need you to come out and handle their losses. And then just do the personalized outreach. Get really good on LinkedIn and other associations. Number 10, the last and final one. This is just going to help you out. Start small and then scale up. Don't go for the home run right away. There are small $10, $20, $50,000 losses in your backyard all the time, going to other people that are sometimes less qualified than you. Be okay starting small, because eventually you will get the bigger calls. They will trust you. They'll have other properties. They'll recommend you to people that are in their network or in associations they're in. I call it commercial restoration is infectious. It spreads. Taking on massive commercial projects too early, they can really crush your business. I've seen it happen dozens of times. Begin with smaller jobs. Again, like maybe retails and small offices, maybe hotel, hospitality, assisted living homes. They're going to have large losses sometimes, and you will end up getting the opportunity. But I've watched too many people start out with the larger jobs before they have taken the smaller ones on. You all know the experiences. You've got to crawl before you walk. Gain that experience. Get the certifications. Understand the science and understands the language of business interruption, business continuity, whichever you want to call it. Then scale up confidently to larger projects later. But get those under your belt so you'll understand the realm. You can use those experiences to build and stack upon to do the larger ones. That does it. That's only 10. I probably could have done 10 more, but I like shorter videos. I want to get this done. Check the link down below. You'll have a little bit more of an expanded version on this on our newsletter and our blog that associates with this. Commercial restoration is a fantastic opportunity, but it requires a unique approach. It's not the same. If you're used to doing residential, you're qualified to do it. You just need to know some new things. Focus on starting small, understanding the insurance's relationships to the customer, and then your cash flow. And then lastly, build strategic relationships. If you're ready to dive in, contact us at CATx. We'll absolutely have a phone call, see where you are now. If you've never done any commercial or if you want to grow your division, we're here for you to help. We love helping small to medium-sized companies dominate in their market and their communities where people already would trust you. They just don't know who you are yet. So reach out to us at CATx. Let's get going. Take care.